Listen to everybody. Nobody believes in you. What are you prepared to do about it? Don't let no one come into your house, take your meal, do what you need to do today. I'm not nervous. I'm just telling you.
Hey, it's Victoria, and you are now listening to the Pass Rush Podcast with your host, DJ Clennon.
Welcome to the Pass Rush Podcast. I'm your host, DJ Clennon, as you already know. And you already know what I'm here for. I want to go ahead and get into Colorado's football performance against Oregon State yesterday. I seen some good things. I seen some bad things, right? So let's break it down as we always do. We can start with the quarterback play. I think Shedeur played well, but not well enough to the point to where like he's kind of flustered. I can kind of see it. I know he's in pain, but you can tell he doesn't trust his offensive line as much as he's supposed to. And he held the ball on a little long on a few plays. And I think a lot of that is just execution based, where they look like the first year team that they didn't weeks ago. Like they look like they're still trying to put it together when they didn't weeks ago. And it could be the change of the offensive play calls. It could be the change of something else terminology wise that has changed now that Pat is calling the plays instead of Coach Lewis. I don't know. But something's off with the offense. It definitely is. And I thought maybe with Coach Pat calling plays more, they would run the ball more, but they ran it less. And you can't have that. Your leading rusher can't have just 4 attempts. You can't do that. You can't be one dimensional where they think you're going to pass the ball every play. At that point, I know they wasn't getting a lot of yards running, but they didn't try it a lot either, right? And you topple that with the mistakes I would get to on offense that I feel like were mistakes. It just kind of double whammies you. So you get to the receivers. I think they did not run their routes as crisp as they were supposed to. I feel like in the first drive when you've seen a lot of spacing with the short hooks and the curls, Travis Hunter getting the ball in space, making a few moves on those spacing where you run somebody there, somebody here in a spaced hook situation. They was opening up. They ran those curls. Things was opening up. I think it was well at that point in time. Then you get to the offensive line. They don't have to block as long, so it protects them and gives them some time to get their confidence up during the game against their opponents to know that they're not getting killed by them. Then you move on to just the receivers. I think over time in the game, it was multiple times where I started to see them running non-routes together downfield, and you can just put a safety over top and you can cover both of them at the same time, and that's what they did. Oregon State ran a lot of cover 2, and it looks like a lot of inverted cover 2, where inverted cover 2, you have the linebacker play underneath to guard that running back coming out with the flare. You have the corner play down deep and one safety play down deep for the other one. You have that strong safety play inside the hole. The linebacker plays in the hole. On the backside, they kind of do it traditionally over there, or same way. It just really depends on what kind of inverted you're teaching. And that's what I saw. It was just a lot of easy coverage calls where they could cover 4 blanket things down the field if everybody wants to run deep. You could run man-to-man. You could run inverted cover 2 and cover 2. That's literally all they had to do. They ran some blitzes as well where they brought everybody up to the line of scrimmage, and it was kind of just too easy on a defensive side for them to just, they didn't have to do much. And as an offense, you should be playing chess with them, not checkers, and it looked like they was playing checkers. It could just, like I said, it could be that late change. Something's going on there. I don't really know what it is, but of course they'll figure that out and get back to the offense that they're supposed to. The main issue, we were seeing some issues on defense, and we kind of fixed that this week. When you get to the defense, Jordan Dominic played the best football he has all season. I think he played outstanding. I think 55 game change for them up front. The D tackle, he made a lot of tackles for losses. He was really there, flustering those guards in center, and he did really well. I'm proud of that performance up front with the change that was made up front, because McNeil isn't out there. He played sometime and he had some good performances as well, but you trusted the people who was around him to get out there this time, and they did really well. You get to the linebacker play. I like the change of Bentley being out there with Trevor Woods and sometimes with Craig. I like the Craig playing in the nickel situation. I think that's what his body is fit for. I think that's what his skill level is fit for. I think Bentley is your enforcer. I think you keep him out there. He led the team in tackles. I think you leave him out there. I think what you do with Bentley going forward as well is you make him a spy. The issue that they had is they didn't have a spy. A lot of the time the quarterback ran out and was ducking and diving in there when the pass rush would overshoot. You need Bentley up front to do his thing, and I think that caused an issue. If they able to have that fixed, I think they win that game on defense. I think they can win the game completely with defense at that point, because those take 2 touchdowns off the board. Colorado has 19 points. Boom, they win that game. It's just DJ Ugale and the backup quarterback doing their thing that way. You get to the DB player. Shiloh is a bona fide first-round pick. He plays outstanding when given the chance. He did everything right. He even made that hit on the tight end Velling downfield as soft as he possibly could. And I seen the screen show flag, but then they took it off. Like, come on now, like, this is football. But, you know, hits like that, I guess, is just getting further and further away from the game, which is atrocious. But anyway, we get to just the mistakes I feel like really offset this game, and they're all simple. I got 5 of them, and they're all simple. False start on a punt. There's no focus and passion on the team if you false start on punt. Come on now, it's punt. Like, when you talking about punt, literally they snap the ball, you block for a few seconds, you throw the man to the side, you hear the boop when the dude punts the ball, and you go downfield and you make the tackle. Blanket coverage, boom. It's pretty simple. You stay in your lane, you do your thing. Everybody has a role to fill. If you're false starting on punt, you're already thinking too much. You worried about the wrong thing if you false starting on punt. Illegal formation on punt. Again, same thing. How do you have illegal formation on punt? That's beyond rare. You don't even hear about stuff like that happening. Doesn't even make any sense. So that's an issue that we're seeing with the Colorado football team. The halftime issue, instead of running the ball out, running the clock out, you decide to try to go get points. I know Coach Prime believes a lot in Shedeur, maybe too much this time around, where you're not thinking about, okay, let me rest him, get the, run the ball out. You only need to run 2 plays. They had 2 timeouts. You run 2 plays, 3 plays, get that out of there. They realize what you're going to do. Maybe they just don't worry about calling the timeout, but they called the timeouts because they felt like you was going to try to go get points, which you tried to do. It offset you. They get a good punt return. They get the illegal formation on punt on top of that, and boom, they in range. Miscommunication on what number 3 said was supposed to be this call, whatever that call is for them, which is probably some type of cover 2, because he played down Neef first and then he went back because the person slipped out over top and caught it. I mean, that's execution issue. Again, focus and passion. No spy. I addressed that. No spy. You need a spy. You play on a running quarterback, you need a spy no matter what. And then the biggest momentum killer I seen in the game outside of the halftime issue, coming out of the half, snap infraction, then a false start, then a strip sack on Shedeur. How do you have a snap infraction? Everybody knows what the call gonna be after that. Y'all talk that out, boom, whatever. Somebody false start. How? You just knew. We just talked about it. And then the effort from you give up a strip sack. Come on, you cannot allow things like that. That is momentum killers. That's what we saw. This team is lacking focus and passion. And if they want to get through to the next level where they feel like they can be and where we know they can be, because they've shown it against TCU, Nebraska, and can't remember right now. They showed it, and it's gone now. Like, the fans are there. They turn up week after week after week, and you giving them this type of effort. It's a divided team thing. I'm gonna let this video play right here on where Coach Prime talks about the jealousy and envy within the team.
You linemen been crying about opportunities, right? Well, you got them. What you gonna do with it? What was the team of the week? What now? What now? What you gonna do with it now? You got opportunity.
Some of you guys don't realize you're going to get in the game. You got to be ready. Don't sit up there hating. I'm trying to get rid of all that hating on the sideline and all the foolishness on the sideline that's hating the guys that's on the field. We got to come together as a team, as a unit. Some kind of way, y'all got to start loving each other. You got to start really being there for one another.
And you can't have that. You cannot have no team where the locker room is getting split like this, where this side versus this side. The people who don't care, people leaving the team, like Coach Prime was asked about a tight end who stopped showing up to practice. Where's he at? He said, well, you should ask him. You quitting on the team mid-year? What kind of man is that? What kind of team player is that? Like that's whatever. You got that side versus the people who just want to do everything right. They want to try to make the team better, whoever those guys may be, and you're causing yourself a divided issue. You cannot win that way. Everybody who's there has been on a team that way, and they know that they're spiraling, but they're still within reach, right? You're spiraling, but you're still within reach. You can still be saved. Like, this team can still be saved if they feel like they can do enough. Coach Prime said they have enough. I have to believe him. It's his team, right? He says he has enough to win. They just not doing enough. I feel like on offense, what you can do to start getting this run game right. This is a suggestion from a random individual. You come out in that formation with the trips, with one receiver to the side. This one receiver back here, you make that Travis Hunter. Why? Because you can one-on-one with him. You put Jimmy Horn, Amarion, and Weaver on this side. Trips. 5-on-5 now in the box. My 5 and my running back versus your 5. Their 5 might be 3 down linemen, 2 linebackers. It might be 4 down linemen, 1 linebacker stuck in the middle because everybody else has to be out there on somebody, and you run 5-on-5. If they do not respect that 5-on-5 and they have that 6-man stay in and he don't guard Amarion, Weaver, or Jimmy Horn, you do a quick hitter to one of them, boom, every time, or a quick hitter to one of them up front, boom. Like, that's how you do it. They was doing it with the flares, with the running back outside the backfield. You want to get your playmakers the ball, you want to get them the ball, etc., etc. But you got the receivers and the speed to do so much to where you run this set and you can get 5-on-5, and you gotta expect your 5 to be better than their 5. That's where they got to get this run game going. You got to do stuff like that. If you're not going to do stuff like that, you got to get to the point to where you run a bunch of power sets, right? One of those two things got to spark this running game. Right now, Colorado is so one-dimensional to where everybody is expecting them to just pass the ball. Something has to be done to where they get that passion and wanting to win back. Coach Prime already said the team is lacking the passion. He knows it. So I'm interested to see this week what he does to change it. This is the last home game of the season coming up. They're playing Arizona, I believe. And Arizona has been sleepy good, though. Like, where they've been going toe-to-toe with the best of them. You know, like they've been doing their thing. And Colorado can still be bowl eligible. I think if they get bowl eligible, you can put them in a bowl game where Air Force, if you know, out there, they could make something happen with that. If you like videos like this, sack everything. Sack the subscribe button, sack everything. This is the Pass Rush Podcast. We sack everything. And I'm out of here. See ya.
Up and I shake the room.